And the winner is... Jay-Z!
Holy Grail, Jay-Z featuring Justin Timberlake.
Stu.
Jay-Z.
On the little 45. Jay-Z.
Jay-Z has mastered the art of silence. While others brag about power, he built it, piece by piece, move by move, until the whole world had to play his game. This is not a story about a rapper who got lucky. This is a story about a man who learned the most dangerous lesson on earth. Control doesn't scream. It whispers. For over 3 decades, Shawn Carter has moved through the world like smoke. Present, but untouchable. Visible, but unknowable. And while you were watching, he was building something no one could stop. Brooklyn. Marcy Projects. Building 524. This is where Shawn Carter learned his first rule. Survive or disappear. No father. A mother working endlessly. Brothers lost to the streets. And a boy who watched everything. Silently cataloging every mistake, every weakness, every move. He didn't just want to escape poverty. He wanted to own the system that created it. December 4th, 1969. That's when he entered the world. But the man we know as Jay-Z, he was born much later. Forged in violence. Tempered by betrayal. At 12 years old, he shot his own brother over stolen jewelry. The guilt didn't break him. It forged him. It taught him that emotion is a liability. That hesitation kills. That power requires sacrifice. His mother never pressed charges. His brother survived. But something died in young Shawn that day. By 16, he was dealing crack on the same corners where kids played. By 20, he'd seen friends murdered, arrested, destroyed. He watched the streets devour everyone who moved too fast, talked too loud, trusted too easily. So Jay-Z made a choice. He would move differently. He started rapping, not for fame, but for leverage. He studied Biggie's charisma, Raheem's precision, Nas's poetry. He wasn't the best lyricist. He wasn't the most original, but he was the smartest. He understood something others didn't. Hip-hop wasn't just music. It was currency. It was access. It was a ladder out of hell. And he would climb it alone if he had to. Because while everyone else was trying to be heard, Jay-Z was learning how to be felt. 1996, no record label would sign him. So he did something no rapper had ever done. He became the label. Rockefeller Records. Built with Damon Dash and Kareem Biggs Burke. 3 men with one vision. Own everything. But here's what they don't tell you. From the very beginning, Jay-Z was already 3 steps ahead of his own partners. While Damon Dash was a face, loud, brash, aggressive, Jay-Z stayed quiet. While Dash fought publicly with record executives, Jay-Z studied contracts. While Dash burned bridges, Jay-Z built secret alliances. He watched. He waited. He calculated. Reasonable Doubt dropped in June 1996. Critics called it a classic, but it sold poorly. Jay-Z didn't panic. He didn't chase trends. He played the long game. Volume 2, Hard Knock Life, arrived in 1998. 5 million copies sold. Mainstream success. Suddenly, Jay-Z wasn't just a rapper. He was a brand. But behind the scenes, something darker was unfolding. Jay-Z was learning that loyalty is weakness, that friends become obstacles, that to build an empire, you must be willing to stand alone. December 1999. Club Kit Kat, Manhattan. Jay-Z allegedly stabbed record executive Lance Rivera over bootlegging allegations. He pled guilty to misdemeanor assault, 3 years probation. But here's what that moment revealed. Jay-Z had a breaking point, a line that, if crossed, would bring violence. And everyone in the industry saw it. From that day forward, people moved differently around him because they realized this man wasn't playing a character. This was who he actually was. Then came Nas, the greatest lyrical battle in hip-hop history. Ether versus takeover. Poetry versus precision. Legacy versus ambition. But here's what most people missed. Jay-Z didn't just battle Nas with words. He battled him with business. 2001. Takeover drops. Jay-Z attacks Nas, Mobb Deep, and anyone who questioned his throne. Nas responds with Ether. Brutal, vicious, personal. Hip-hop crowned Nas the winner. The streets declared him victorious. But Jay-Z wasn't trying to win the battle. He was trying to win the war. While Nas was burning through Columbia Records deals and fighting with management, Jay-Z was consolidating power. While Nas was writing masterpieces that didn't sell, Jay-Z was writing hits that moved units. He didn't need to destroy Nas lyrically. He just needed to outlast him financially. And he did. 2005, the I Declare War concert. Jay-Z brings Nas on stage. They end the beef. Embrace. The crowd went wild. Hip-hop celebrated peace. But watch Jay-Z's face in that moment. No real emotion. No genuine joy. Just calculation. Because he'd already won. Nas was broke, desperate for relevance. And Jay-Z? He was Def Jam's president. 1 year later, Jay-Z signed Nas to Def Jam. Think about that. He turned his greatest rival into his employee. Before we go deeper into the silent empire Jay-Z built, let me ask you something. How many stories like this do you think exist? How many hidden moves happened behind the fame, the fortune, the power, the music industry, Hollywood, tech politics? Every empire has its secrets. If you want more, if you want to see what's really happening in the shadows of success, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Because what you're about to hear, most people will never know. The deals made in darkness. The sacrifices no one talks about. The cost of reaching the top. Now let's talk about what Jay-Z did to the people closest to him. 2004, Jay-Z became president of Def Jam Records. The announcement shocked the industry, but destroyed Damon Dash. Dash, his partner, his brother, the man who helped build Rockefeller from nothing, was blindsided. He found out through the media. No warning, no conversation. Jay-Z had made a deal behind his back. And just like that, the partnership was over. Dash would later spiral. Lawsuits, debt, bitterness. He'd give interviews calling Jay-Z a snake, a sellout, a fraud. But Jay-Z never responded, because he didn't need to. At Def Jam, Jay-Z wasn't just a rapper anymore. He was an executive, signing artists, controlling budgets, learning how corporations think. He was learning the ultimate lesson. Ownership is everything. In 2007, he left Def Jam. The presidency was just another chess piece. Enter Kanye West, the producer turned rapper, the genius, the wild card. For years, Kanye idolized Jay-Z. He made beats for him. He learned from him. He called him his big brother. But Kanye didn't understand the game Jay-Z was playing. Because in Jay-Z's world, there are no equals. Only assets and liabilities. Watch the Throne dropped in 2011. Two kings, one album, unity and brotherhood. Kanye thought they were partners. Jay-Z knew Kanye was a resource. Years passed. Kanye had a mental breakdown on stage. Called out Jay-Z, begged for his help.
Jay-Z, call me, bro. You still ain't called me. Jay-Z, call me. Hey, bro. Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them out my head. Just call me. Talk to me.
Maybe Kanye was right. Maybe Jay-Z did abandon him. But here's the brutal truth. Jay-Z had already moved on. Roc Nation was born. A new empire. And Kanye? Just another name in the rearview mirror. Because that's what empires do. They consume loyalty. They extract value. And when you're no longer useful, they move on. Then there's her, Beyoncé Knowles Carter, the most powerful woman in music, the icon, the queen. But let's ask the uncomfortable question. What role does she play in Jay-Z's empire? On the surface, it's a love story. Two megastars, a power couple, a billion-dollar brand. But look closer. Beyoncé's image is pristine, perfect, untouchable. And Jay-Z, the man with a criminal past, feuds, controversies, benefits enormously from that association. She softens his edges, makes him accessible, humanizes the ruthless businessman. May 5th, 2014, the Met Gala elevator incident. Solange attacks Jay-Z, Beyoncé watches. The video leaks. The world goes insane. What happened? What did Jay-Z do? The official statement, a private family matter. But the damage was public, undeniable. 2016, Lemonade drops. Beyoncé's masterpiece. Raw, painful, accusatory. Becky with the good hair. Infidelity, betrayal, rage. The world assumed it was about Jay-Z. He never confirmed or denied. But here's where it gets interesting. 1 year later, Jay-Z releases 444. His response, his confession, his redemption. Two of the biggest albums of the decade. Born from pain, betrayal, reconciliation. Millions of records sold. Tours, documentaries, cultural moments. What if Jay-Z understood that vulnerability sells? That showing cracks in the armor makes people invest more deeply? That even his marriage could be monetized? I'm not saying he doesn't love her. I'm saying he's smart enough to profit from everything, even love. They controlled the narrative, released the pain on their terms, sold millions, launched tours. They turned their trauma into a billion-dollar brand. That's not just smart. That's ruthless. 2019, Jay-Z officially becomes a billionaire. Real estate, champagne, streaming services, sports agencies. He's no longer just a rapper. He's a mogul, a venture capitalist, a shadow player in industries most artists never even understand. Armand de Brignac Champagne, $300 million. Tidal streaming service, $300 million. Dus Cognac, $100 million. Roc Nation, $75 million. But here's what haunts me. What did he lose to get here? His friends are gone. His mentors are gone. His partners, betrayed or discarded. Every person who helped him rise, eventually fell away. By accident or by design? In 2020, Jay-Z sold Tidal to Square for $297 million. Another exit, another profit. In 2021, he sold 50% of Armand de Brignac for hundreds of millions. He's always selling, always moving, always 3 steps ahead. But here's what no one asks. What's he building toward? More money? He has billions. More fame? He's already a legend. More power? He controls entire industries. So what drives him? Maybe it's not about the destination. Maybe it's about the game. He stands at the top of the mountain he built himself. But he stands alone. No real friends. No equals. No one he can truly trust. Maybe that's the price of empire. Maybe that's what it takes to be king. Or maybe Jay-Z isn't a king at all. Maybe he's a ghost. Jay-Z doesn't need to speak loudly. Because silence built his empire. He learned that power whispers. That control is invisible. That the most dangerous players are the ones you never see coming. From Marcy Projects to Billionaire. From hustler to mogul. From nobody to icon. But what was the cost? His innocence? Gone at 12. His friendships? Casualties of ambition. His privacy? Sold for market value. His soul? Well, that's the question, isn't it? Maybe Jay-Z is the greatest businessman of our generation. A genius who understood the game before anyone else. Or maybe he's something darker. A man who learned to weaponize everything. Even love. Even pain. Even silence itself. And now, as you watch this, as you try to understand him, remember, he's 3 steps ahead of you too. If you love deep, mysterious stories like this, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. There's more coming. Stories they don't want you to hear, hidden behind fame, power, and silence. Diddy, Beyonce, Drake, Elon Musk. Every empire has its secrets. Every throne has its bodies. Because the truth, it's always in the shadows. And we're just getting started.